Today's video is going to be more of a personal journey, as today I'm going to talk about my 2022 New Year's resolutions.
I'm tripping out 'cause I shut the lights out. Don't stop. What you got? Ready or not.
What's up everybody, my name's Jason from EO7 Media and For Love Films, and today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be so much educational, but more of a computer interruption. Today's video is going to be more along the lines of a personal reflection and more of a goal-oriented video. Going into 2022, I wanted to make some New Year's resolutions for myself that were, hi Rex. Someone's talking and you're not a part of it. This is Rex. He is my office cat. And my manager. It keeps me on check. So today's video is basically to tell you what my New Year's resolutions are and why I'm doing them. 50% of this is to keep on one of my New Year's resolutions, and then the other 50% is really to kind of keep myself in check, because if I'm letting the world know about what I'm doing, it kind of makes it a little bit easier for me to stay in line with what I need to be doing. Today's video is going to be much more of a vlog oriented, not so much as a big edited piece. It's going to be more just me talking. So if that's not your thing, totally cool. Make sure you like and subscribe. Rex really wants you to like and subscribe. He only has one eye, but he's really good at seeing awesome people. Basically, I have 3 categories of my New Year's resolutions, and each one has different subsects underneath it. The first section of my New Year's resolutions is financial. Now, I'm a nerd. I love buying nerdy things, from comic books to movies to toys and things like that. I need to really check myself on my personal spending. I tend to go into these little retail therapy modes where it's like, oh, I just need this one new Boba Fett action figure or this one new movie. And in the long run, I absolutely don't. So I need to keep myself in a personal check with buying stuff that I really don't need. And the next thing that obviously comes to is gear. Is like, do I really need that next piece of gear? Is it gonna make my film life easier? Is it gonna make my films better? Before I buy anything that I don't absolutely need right now, I take a second, I walk away, I close down the web browser that I was gonna shop on, and I see if it's actually worth my time when I come back to it like a day later. And then we slip into the idea of the gear that I actually do need. Most of the time I'll need to buy something new for an upcoming gig, whether it's a presentation box, lighting, grip gear, a lens, or some kind of audio gear or something like that. But in the past, typically I'll have the meeting with the client, we'll go over everything, I figure out what I need to get, and I buy it before I even get the contract for the gig, and sometimes that's bitten me in the ass. So moving forward, part of the resolution is I will not buy the gear that I need until I actually have the gig I need it for. And that leads us right into the next section, work. The first part under work is this year I'm gonna focus really heavy on my brand. In 2010, I started my business, Night Owls Media. That is an LLC, it's the main company I work under, but since then, we've rebranded and split our company into 2 different companies, with the wedding side being For Love Films and the corporate and commercial side being EO7 Media. So this year I'm really focusing on building my brands and really giving it my all with social media and brand awareness. For those of you who might not know, I did a long-running online webcomic for about 5 years, and it went from every day, 7 days a week, to 5 days a week, to 3 days a week. And then at the end of its run, I was just exhausted because these comics were taking me anywhere from 6 to 8 hours per day to do one. And it made me realize that this is not a job. I'm not being paid to do this. It was just for fun. And I need to really focus on my work, because that's what, can pay my bills. That's what can take care of my family. Part of the focusing on the business and the social branding of everything is to get the attention of more clients, get the attention of more partnerships with other businesses. Trying to get my name out there into a wider audience with people that I haven't met yet and fields that I haven't even looked at yet. And then every day I look at myself and I make a list of things that I can do better, whether it's doing things faster, more efficiently, reading more, things like that. But every day I look at myself as what can I do better? So that brings us on to the next topic under work is I watch or I read something to better me and my business every day. I am constantly hunting for vlogs and articles and podcasts and blogs to try to read up on business and marketing and videography and consumer-based habits, trends, things like that. Anything to kind of boost my knowledge about my own business and my lifestyle in that business. Number 3 under work is to create more content. I have multiple brands going on at the same time. 3 of those brands are actually work related. I have the wedding and family side of the video and photo business. We have the commercial and corporate side of the video and photo business. And I also do a small batch beef jerky company as well. And I also have about 4 other things going on, but those are side projects and they all have their own Instagram and they all have their own followers and everything else, but those are just for fun. So instead of focusing my attention on the fun stuff that I can do on my off time, I'm telling myself I really need to focus on my brands that are, in fact, a growing business. But having those little side creative projects, like my other Instagram accounts where I review movies and TV shows. I have another Instagram and YouTube channel where I talk about gardening. I have another Instagram channel where we just make funny little videos that the world will probably never see, and that's totally fine. I have an Instagram just for my cat and his daily life. But doing those side projects keeps me creative when I need to go back to my business side of things. And it keeps my attention going because it makes me more fueled to do more creative things. But I need to make sure that I don't focus on those side projects. I'm focusing on the work ones, and the side projects are just that, side projects. Number 4 of my work resolution, I have to have a new morning routine. We have a lot of special needs cats in our house, from diabetics to injuries to neurological disorders, everything else. And every morning we have to give them medication. So I'm up at 6 o'clock every morning regardless because some of the medication needs to be given at a very certain time. So that allowed me to start my workflow and my work routine much easier. So I'm up giving all the medications out, and then I go make myself a drink every morning. And if you follow us on EO7 Media on Instagram, you will know that every morning I make a new drink, whether it be tea, coffee, or whatever, and I tell you exactly what kind of drink it is and where I got it from, and my goal is to try as many different things as I possibly can. So after I get my drink, I wake up with like a morning puzzle on my phone. I'll play a quick game of Sudoku, or I'll read some news, kind of to get my mind going for the day. And then after my wife leaves for work, I come into my office here. I check up on all of my feeds. If I get an email that I need to respond to right away, of course I respond to it as fast as I can. Any kind of messages on any of my socials, I'll respond back. And then what I do is I do my 90 cents. This is a term I learned from Gary Vaynerchuk, where he said, every day you should give 100 people your 2 cents, like your 2 cents of your opinion. I tried doing the 100 people per day of giving an engagement, giving a conversation piece on social media every day, and it's exhausting and it's tough. And I recommend you try it. It's a lot harder than you think it is to keep it up. I think I did it for 2 weeks and I got burnt out really fast. But I decided if I can't do 100, I can at least do 50. So I give my 90 cents per day, some kind of comment, some kind of interaction, some type of engagement, whether it be people I know or people I don't know. And I'm constantly trying to be the mayor of any type of social media that I'm on. So I spend about a half an hour to an hour doing that every morning. And then I go into my bettering myself. I'll read a blog, I'll watch a vlog, I will read an article, I will do something like that to better my business. And then I'm getting excited, I'm getting pumped up, I'm getting psyched, and then I go back to my emails, I check everything, and then I jump into work for the day. Having that kind of structure really focuses me and allows me to do my job better and create more content and focus on what needs to be focused on rather than sitting around wondering what the latest movie trailer out right now is. It allows me to keep focused on my work. Number 5, and definitely my most important New Year's resolution of the work area, is I'm not gonna concern myself with numbers this year. I want to create content. I want to put stuff out into the world, and I want to try and help other people where I can. But really, I want to have fun doing this. If you're a creator of any type of medium, you know you got into this because it's fun. It is so rewarding and so amazingly fulfilling to create something and put it out in the universe. Whether people like it or not, that's kind of what I'm trying to get across to myself, that it's not that important. But it's important to reach out and create something. So everything I create this year, I'm really telling myself to not check the numbers, to not check the views, to not check the likes, things like that. My goal is just to keep creating, to keep publishing, to keep doing more stuff. And of course, on that note, make sure you like and subscribe. Because how am I supposed to know if I'm doing any good if I don't have the validation of tons of invisible internet points? That just blew any credibility. The last section of my New Year's resolution is what I'm calling myself. Under my self resolutions, I want to focus on bettering my health. And that includes both physically and mentally. I did the keto diet for a long time, and the effects of it are just amazing. Yes, you lose weight and you feel better because you lose weight, but it's like this mental clarity that happens when you stop feeding junk into your body. And I want to get back into that. So we started that, but I'm going back into it slow. Because we all have stressful days, and some people deal with stress differently. Some people drink, some people will exercise. I like to eat, so I'm trying to curb that. But at the same time, I'm very much still needing that outlet of, hey, I want a little bit of joy in this junky food, but I need to remind myself that that's not good for me, and this is what's good for me in the long run. The other aspect is my mental state, and we've all lived through COVID. We've all lived through this wonderful time period of the last 2 years, and I think a lot of people are realizing that self-care is much more important than we ever made it out to be, and I think self-care is vitally important. So every day I'm doing something to take care of myself. So, and this also includes going to see a doctor, which as a human being you should, but we push off as much as we can. So number 2 in the self section is more family time. Whether this be time with my wife, Andy, or time with my cats and my dog, I think it's very important to realize who's around you and the positivity that other people give you, and the people who really care about you, those are the people you should be focusing on, whether they're people or not. After the loss of our cat in December 2020, it really kind of emotionally solidified what was most important, and that's family. After he died, I remember coming home and thinking, none of the bullshit is important. What's important are these moments in time, are these aspects and these little chunks and snippets of time where we're all together, and that's what I'm trying to be better at. Number 3 of the self-care is self-time. So unless I have a very strict deadline and I'm on crunch mode, or I've been procrastinating with a video project or something like that, I'm cutting myself off at 7 p.m. every day from work so I can go and make dinner with my wife, I can spend the time with my cats, and I can kind of decompress for a couple hours before I have to go to bed. But it's really putting the priority on my family, and that's making me feel better and stronger and more competent. So when I come back to work, I feel that much more ready to go. I think it's really important to have that cutoff time and time for yourself. And lastly, part 4 in the self-care section of my New Year's resolution. If you followed me for a while, a couple years ago, I showed you my morning mantras.
As soon as I enter my office, I'm holding my coffee or tea in my hand, and I turn around and there's my cork board, and this is what I say out loud every morning, and it gets me motivated to do more work, to do better work, and to be better.
And they have really helped a lot in my daily life, but I added new mantras to my morning routine, and They're definitely more based toward me, but they really help. And if it's okay with you, I will read you my mantras. You can't grow if you're comfortable. All growth depends upon activity. There is no development physically or intellectually without effort, and effort means work. Go where the demands are high. Go where the pressure is to perform. The secret to success lies in the very thing you're avoiding. If you aren't growing, you're in slow motion liquidation. Who the hell am I in this scenario? Basically, this is putting me into a scenario where I realize that I'm putting myself in check. I'm judging someone else, and then I say, oh, who am I to judge this other person upon their actions? I am not them, I am me, and I am good enough. I mean, it's so easy in our line of work to compare ourselves to other creatives. If you're a photographer and you follow an amazing world traveling photographer who shoots, around the globe and all these different events, and you're saying, well, I'm not as good as them. Well, you're not them. They're not you. They haven't walked in your shoes. What I'm starting to realize for myself is I'm not them. I'm me. And what I'm doing is great. And it's making me happy. And for work, it's making my clients happy. And for my own life, it's making my family happy. That's what's important. My opinion is number one. I'm the only one that has to live with myself. No matter what you do, you will always hear critiques, whether it be for your work, for your attitude, anything like that. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that your opinion on anything that you are doing, whether it's you creating or you putting something out into the universe, an opinion, yada, yada, your opinion matters for you the most. Having other people judge you, that's a byproduct, and it shouldn't affect you, but it always does. So if someone doesn't like these videos, that's fine. This is helping me make my day better too. It's not about creating content, it's about me following a routine and enjoying getting to play with cameras and audio and editing a little bit. It's fun. My opinion is I'm having a blast doing this. And at the end of the day, I have to be the one who lives with these choices. Because if I didn't do this and I sat around all day thinking, I really should have made that vlog, I'd be spending energy worrying and dreading the fact that I didn't do something rather than just doing it. Once I'm done with this, I'm gonna edit this very quickly, put it up online. If no one watches it, that's cool. If you do watch it and get something out of it, that's amazing. On that note, what are your New Year's resolutions? Write down in the comments either your New Year's resolutions or what are some of your mantras? What are some of the things that make your days better? And in turn, what makes you better? Whether you know it or not, you are a part of my journey. So thank you for joining me on it. I've been Jason from EO7 Media and For Love Films. Remember, be better and do something awesome today. Be better and do something awesome today. Bam!